Hi everyone, it's Heidi from flutterbyheidi.co.uk. I'm Heidi Smith. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator based in the United Kingdom, and today I'm working with some fabulous celebration products, which means that they are free. So for every £45 that you spend, you can choose a celebration reward. And there are two levels. There's level 1, which is your first level, which is for say £45 here in the UK, and then there's level 2 rewards, which are when you spend £90. Now when you spend 90, you can actually choose 2 level 1 rewards or 1 level 2 reward, and this is a level 1 reward that you can choose. It's actually 12 by 12 paper, the lovely Stampin' Up! Quality. You get 12 sheets, and in this one you'll see that you've got, it's sort of black and other colours, and so on the one side you've got these lovely flowers with a black background, which is really striking, but you've got some really useful designs on the reverse as well. And these are, I'll show you in a moment, designed to coordinate with some other products in the mini catalogue as well. So you've got these fabulous florals, as you can see on the one side, lovely stuff, roses and kind of look like peonies to me, and on the reverse you've got more generic, and actually some of these are quite masculine designs, so if you have to make cards for men, then you know any of these geometric designs would work really well. So you've got both on there, and the colours you've got, apart from basic black, you've got Blackberry Bliss, Calypso Coral, Evening Evergreen, Fresh Freesia, Mossy Meadow and Petal Pink. And you'll see here, this is the mini catalogue, and the paper actually coordinates with this bundle here, the fragrant flowers on page 21, and you can see that sort of those peony and sort of rose images there, and that's bundle, or you can buy just the stamp set, or you can get the bundle with the dies as well, and you've got these lovely sort of edged dies as well, and that's it in the mini celebration catalogue. Now if you haven't had your catalogues yet from me and you'd like them, perhaps you haven't made a purchase in the last 6 months, then do just drop me an email and I will be happy to pop a copy of both the mini and the celebration catalogue in the post to you. But just as a change this year, celebration is back to just once a year, January and February only, and the mini catalogue only lasts till April. So if you want something from the mini catalogue, you need to make sure you order it sooner rather than later. So what are we going to make? We're making this cute little treat box here. It's similar to the curved boxes I've made before. This is a dinky little one, and it's designed to be quite economical because you can get 2 from a sheet of A4 cardstock. You see a little angle there, and you can either have this standing up in that orientation, or if you wanted to, let me turn it over, you could have it lying flat on a desk like that, and you could put the bar the opposite direction. So this one I've made to stand upright, and the sample I'll show you exactly the same, but we'll just have it so that it lies flat instead. And that would be great if you wanted to add, use it as a table favour, you could put somebody's name on there. And I've just used some of the floral stamps and the from the two-tone flora set, and then my friend sentiment comes from this lovely ginkgo branch. So if you bought the bundles of either of these, you would be able to choose a free celebration item, which you say, I'm going to use the paper here. So let's get started. Now, as you know, with a lot of my projects, I'll do a template first. So that's my template, and I'll show you that again at the end for you. And I've chosen colours which perhaps aren't the best, so that was the paper I used. So I thought I'd use this one here with the Fresh Freesia on it, backed with Blackberry Bliss. So I thought it'd be really nice with Blackberry Bliss, but looking at that, it might not be so easy for you to see the score marks on that. So do you know what? I think I'm going to grab some Fresh Freesia instead. So let me grab a sheet of A4 cardstock and we'll start from scratch with that one. I do love Blackberry Bliss though. I mean, look at that for a colour combination. Beautiful. Okay, so first of all, piece of cardstock you're going to need is 14.5 by 21 centimetres. So here in the UK, now that bit's a little bit, that's a touch tatty. I'm just going to trim the end off that. I obviously battered that. So cut down to 14.5 centimetres. And it's by the full width, so it's 21 centimetres. Then you'll want 2 pieces of DSP, and these are 10 by 7.5 centimetres. So I'm just going to let me check that. Yeah, okay. I'm just going to cut that at 7.5. And then trim piece 10 and 10. Now obviously, depending on which way your box is going to stand, you're going to want to check the orientation of your design if it's got a orientation. So other things you're going to need, I've just got a scrap of 1.5 by about 10 centimetres, so 4 inches of basic white, and then 1.8 by 10 centimetres, so 4 inches by about 3/4 of an inch. This one would be about 1/2 inch of fresh freesia. Okay, so first of all, our 2 pieces. So if we're going to have our favour in this orientation, our DSP doesn't actually matter too much on this. First of all, apart from throwing my pen on the floor, I'm going to just mark the bottom of these at 2 centimetres from each side. So you can do that on your trim if you want. I'm just using an erasable pen because that I can rub that out afterwards. And you're just going to cut across the angle there. So if we get to my trimmer, all I'm going to do is I'm going to line up that mark I've just made. I'm going to line the top corner of that up against the track, close it up, and I'm going to cut, in this instance, from the bottom up. I'm cutting from the straight edge to the point. I don't start cutting at the top of a point. So the same on the other side. I'm actually going to line that up here. So this time, because my straight edge is at the top, I'm going to cut in the opposite direction. So there's my first piece. And then I'm going to do my second piece. So again, they're possibly not as clear for you to see as I might like, but they are there. So again, just make, and then say come in afterwards and erase those, any marks that are left over. So there we go, those are our 2 pieces of DSP. And the scoring for these is really easy. You are going to score on the long edge at 8. Put your extender bar out because you're going to score at 16 in the middle there, and at 20 centimetres. Then turn it so that short section, or the one with the 2 score lines, are at the bottom. And you're going to line it up at 4 centimetres, and you're going to score these bottom 2 sections. So just use your little line on your scoring tool to do that. You're also going to mark at the top as well. So I'm going to use a pen, use a pencil. There you go, just make a little mark. Then turn it so that you can line it up at 4 centimetres again. And you're going to score the top 2, or what you can do is line that up at 10.5 centimetres and score again. So I'm scoring this bottom section, which you can't see, it's not helpful. Okay, so bottom 2 sections in here, so with the narrow score line, and just lift it up and score up to your score line. And then at the very top, at 10.5, you're going to come in and make a little mark. Now that is as difficult as it gets, honestly, because all you're going to do is take an embossing tool and a ruler, and you're going to score from this score line here. So you've got a narrow score line, then the next score line. You've got 2 big sections. So the top 2 sections, you're going to go from this horizontal score line up to the top and score, and then repeat from where this bottom score line intersects up to the top. And repeat that on the other side. So where that joins, so that's at the 2 centimetre mark. And again from here not even 2 centimetre mark, ignore that, 4 centimetres. That's obviously got a kink in, that wasn't my best ruler to use. So now what you've got, if I show you on my diagram, is we've scored diagonally. So you've got 4 triangles, and then you've got 2 squares and a rectangle in the middle there, and like a trapezoid sort of shape in the middle. So hopefully you can see that. Now we're going to do some cutting, which are these solid lines here. So first of all, you're going to cut up at the bottom and just cut straight up those score lines. Trim away those outer tabs, the little narrow ones, and then just angle those tabs, because those are going to be the tabs that fold in, so just want to reduce the bulk on those a little, like so. Then we now need to remove our outer sections, so you're just coming down and cutting diagonally. Like so. Repeat on the other side. And then you're going to have a piece that looks like this. So I'm going to remove those marks at the top because we don't want those there. And while it's still flat, we're going to add our designer series paper. So, as I say, if you were going to have this as a table favour, then you'd want to make sure that your pattern was the right way. So we're going to have our pattern that way. So we'll just change which piece you have on which side. So I think that one works well there. So if you're using one that had a orientation, just make sure that you put them so that your pattern works once it's on the table. And I'm going to come in and first of all just add my DSP. And just centre that there. Same again. Now that that's dry, what I suggest is, or rather while it's drying, we can do our stamping. And all I've done, I used the little sort of a flat floral image. I'm just going to grab my sentiment first, and then I'm going to use some of my fresh freesia. So just going to take those and stamp as it is there. Get my Blackberry Bliss. And I'm just going to line that up, use my grid paper and pop that roughly in the centre. So once you've stamped that, pop your ink pad away before you get too inky, which I usually do. And let's just add that onto our piece of contrast card. Like so. So just with a narrow border, as I say, that's about 1.5 for the white and 1.8 for the for the contrast. And then just place that on top of your image and just mark, make it sort of kind of level, and then just mark the outside of where the DSP comes to. Then just take your snips and just trim that away. And that way that's going to fit onto our little box pretty much with a decent angle. So just grab a couple of dimensionals and add those to the back. And while our box is still flat, we can add that on. Just noticed I've accidentally made a mark on there. Joys of using pencil or erasable pen. There we go. So here's our box. So we're almost ready to glue it together now. So just grab your bone folder and reinforce these score lines. What you don't want is for your box to be springing open. So just reinforce all of those really well. And then on the sides here, again, you're just going to fold and reinforce those. So just make sure it's nice and neat at the top and that you've got that angle right to the centre line. And this is going to be our front. So the piece with the two tabs are where you want to put the glue on the inside. So just add your adhesive to those and then fold those up and just hold in place for a few moments. If you're using a wet glue, just to allow that to set, you might need to go in and just pinch those together. Now, one thing I didn't do was notch out my tab, so to make sure that goes in well, just take a tiny little angle off the corner. And then it's all ready for you to pop your treats in. And I said my original one held for Raffaello. They also hold these lovely Monty Bojangles Chocky Scoffy, which are great fun. Just pop them in, close it up, and there you have your box. So 2 ways with one style of box. Either looks fabulous on a table and could easily be used for place names. If you'd like to earn this DSP for free, then just pop an order in for £45 or more and you can choose that as one of your options. Or if you spend £90, you've got the choice of some level 2 options as well. I do hope you enjoy creating. Come back and see me again soon and have fun. Take care now. Bye.